Right, this was supposed to be on YouTube safe space thing, but I didn't want anyone to be able to comment or watch as I did it. So we're going the old-fashioned way. So this is the last one. I'm not doing any more anything. And the reason it's the last one is two reasons really. I'm not finding it helps me anymore. Because what I want it to be, what I keep saying about like being there for anyone, I don't see it. I don't envisaging. I don't. Fuck me. I don't see it getting there. I want it to be. Problem is, I'm wanting it to be like the what I've seen Avocado do, where because he's already got a huge fan base of lots of people. Like it's non-stop people asking him, but with this, it's just it's not. You need numbers, and it can't work. Again, I keep with the vlogs. It was okay because it's just for me and what I want. There was declining numbers, but it didn't matter because it's what I want to see in the future. But it just got to the point where I just figured I can't just be moaning into a camera once a month. Like it's not. I didn't see it, and which is why I wanted to do the safe space thing. But yeah, simple fact of the matter is, it's like first week, I had an average of 12 people watching at a time and 59 views overall. And then the second week, when I did more, I shared it with the Man Club. I was announcing it many hours before it was actually going to be on. Had an average of 7 and a total of 19 watches. And so, just as someone, I used to work as a bartender, and I like drinking in pubs. So, as someone who's spent a lot of time in pubs, whether it be a jam night or someone running a quiz or something, it's just once the numbers decline, then just you can either keep going with it and just feeling really depressed about yourself, or you just knock it on the head. It's so yeah, it's not going to get to where I want to be. So there's no point carrying on. So with this being the last one, might as well go full hog. Let you know everything before I stop. I'm gonna stop the YouTube. I'm gonna stop Facebook again, but for a lot longer this time. I did write some notes down. These were on the phone, but yeah, I wrote some stuff down. So, so something that happened today. Now, this kind of thing is literally every couple of days, but just to give you, I was always taught at college in media to give specific examples, because otherwise you can just say anything. If you haven't got anything to back it up, it doesn't hold as much weight. So this is just a typical kind of thing that happens to me. But so I went and played golf with Dave. That was fine. Didn't have a particularly good round, but whatever. I get back, check my phone, and on the Footy Lads group, WhatsApp group, one of the guys put a link up saying, can you vote for, this is I don't know, some fucking vote, can you vote for my daughter having best smile? Here's the link. So the link is like to just loads of, I think there's 3 or 4 girls aged between, I don't know, newborn and 3, probably 3 or 4. Yeah, and it's just a fucking kick in the teeth every time. Like, Like I know the guy. I won't say names yet, but like I know him, and I get on really well with him. He's a proper decent lad. I remember, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks after Penny died. Um, he had a he said on the group chat that he had his kid. His kid was born. So at that next practice, I asked him. I just said, "Oh, is it a boy or a girl?" And as soon as I asked, I just knew because there was a pause before he answered. So I knew he didn't want to really have to say that it was a girl, having known that mine had just died. But yeah, it's just all the time, all the time. If it's that, it's Steve putting a thing on Facebook, or question for dads of 1 to 4 year olds, or it's fucking Mick who doesn't even have kids, like sharing a thing about, during lockdown, if your kids like CBBS or CBBC, we'd like to get in contact with them. Stuff just, and obviously with all the people that have their young kids anyway, Sam, Chelsea, Liz, whatever, all of them. It's like, yeah, it just feels like I'm not, like, it's been 6 months now. It's just like, I don't know. You can never say for certainty. Like a lot of times with poker, like people come up to you and they say like, "Oh, I had this hand. Like, what would you have done?" And sometimes there's just an obvious answer, but sometimes you've just got to say like, "I don't think I would know. I don't think I could answer that until I was in that actual situation." So like, I can't say this for certain, but I'd like to think that if one of my friends had a kid that died, or I don't know, like, but if they had a kid that died, like I wouldn't. I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe I would either see if they were still going on social media, and if they weren't, then fine. But if they were, like there's a setting for to share for everyone except, and you can select people. Like just, I would like to think that I would do that. I would go right. Oh, had a great day with Penny today, so I'll share, but I'll not share it. Make it shareable to not post where so and so can see it because I know they're going through a rough time. It just feels, I just don't understand. Like, why can't you just do that? Why put a thing out about Dad's 24? But it's probably just me. Probably just me, but just yeah, I'd like to think I wouldn't be doing that. But yeah, it's just so obviously, and as I mentioned with the numbers, like even with the vlogs, like 215, the first one, just going down, down, down. It's just obvious. Like I'm not. People have forgotten now. It's gone. So yeah, what's the point? It's difficult, like in all different aspects of my life. Like I just don't feel cared about or concerned about or anything. When the lockdown started, we had the Cricks is like my local now. Like the King's Arms was my local, near where I live, but and I miss it. I wish it was still there. But like yeah, now we're working in Keith, everything like the Cricks is my local. So when lockdown started, we had a group chat, Facebook Messenger group chat. But after a while, I don't know. I don't remember why. It wasn't like one thing set us off or anything. I just left it, and like just yeah, like all the people I'd consider like friends who were in the group. No one's messaged to see like, oh, just checking in. Why did you leave the group? Or are you alright or anything? Not a word. Football team. Again, I know I'm in my head. But I'm just getting out. Yeah, football. Like, I've said before. Like, I love it so much. I wish I'd started playing earlier, and got into like 11-a-side. Got in with the team earlier. But like, yeah, there's just still so many things that have happened. Just do me head in. Last year, so not last September, but September before, or August. It was either one of the first games or like one of the last friendlies we had. And one of the players' uncle passed away. I believe it was uncle. And so like we did a minute's silence before the game for his uncle, and that never happened for Penny when I went back. Now there's the tiniest. There's like a 2% chance that maybe, because obviously I didn't go back straight. Like, they obviously had games. Like, I didn't go for a bit. I went back to training after about 2 weeks, just because it was like the one thing during the week that I could just go and do and take my mind off of it. So yeah, there's like a 2% chance that maybe in the first game they played afterwards, they did it without me being there. But I would have thought that someone probably would have mentioned that happened or something. So yeah, so it's like, so his uncle gets a minute silence, but my daughter doesn't. We had a game end of January, beginning of February, where we were 5-1 up at half time. It was really obvious, like, 5-1 up against a team, like, you're almost certainly going to win it, but football's a funny game and anything can happen. And then within the first, like, I think 5 minutes, it maybe could have been 7 or 8, but that's beside the point. Like, in the first couple of minutes of the second half, we scored 2 goals. We went 7-1 up. It's like, right, the game is won. The team we're playing is obviously not very good. Like, that's it. And so that's where, in my opinion, like, that's when you should start bringing the subs on. Like, give them game time. Like, how often do you get that season where a game is literally done 50 minutes into a 90-minute game, and it was still waiting 60 minutes, 8-1 up, 70 minutes, 9-1 up, and then it was just like, yeah, the last 10 minutes, again, maybe a bit of leeway. I'm trying not to be harsh, open as possible. Like, maybe it was 12, maybe 13, maybe even possibly 15, but it felt like 10. Like, how can you not get on? That's like, oh my god, I swear. The one thing I want to do is just score a goal. I want to score a goal so I can fucking get a sock out of my pocket and just dedicate it to her. Like, that's the one thing. I can't do anything else. I can't. There's nothing I can do in a public forum now. I'm not playing drums anymore, so I can't do a song. Bro, that's all I want to do is score a goal. So yeah, so like, I don't know, I don't really feel part of the team. I had a chat with this woman called, well, I won't say her name, from a group called Compassionate Friends, or The Compassionate Friend, which is specifically for bereaved parents, that my sister got us onto. So she came around yesterday, we had a chat in the garden, social distancing of course. So I've got a first Zoom meeting next Tuesday, and even though I think it'll be very beneficial, and I'll be able to, like, there's a lot of people, there's, I don't know, 7 or whatever they said, sort of people and couples in the same boat. It already sounds like she was saying, there's not really anyone who's had that that age, Penny's age, 2.5. Like I don't know. It sounds like the youngest child that's passed away is like 21. You know, like all adults. So in my mind, it's still like completely different because when we had a chat about it, really good. I really enjoyed talking with this lady, but yeah, like that's obviously going to be really different because you still had like so much time with them. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to make a judgment because I haven't done it yet. And yeah, just like, so we're talking a lot. And she said, like, we talked about family and my mum and dad, how they were doing and stuff. And she said, like, and then I mentioned a couple of friends, like, and she said, so it sounds like you've got a good support network, friend support network. And I said, yeah. And I don't believe it for a second. I have got good people who keep checking in on me. Damon, Sarah, Isaac, other Sarah, Lowell, obviously. And then, yeah, that's when it starts scraping the barrel, really. Like, there's a few out there. Sean Howell, one of the 5 people that came to. Actually, I say 4 because one of them was working the bar, so they had to be there. One of the 4 people that when I first took Penny over to Keighley, and again announced it days in advance. One of the 4 people that could make the effort to come and see her. So he's really good. Megan checks in once in a while. So again, if this had been on the laptop, I would have got my phone and just very quickly gone through who's messaged me so I could rattle off some names. But so I apologise, Dave from golf. Yeah, that's where it's difficult. I did want to say thanks. Like there were quite a few people that, you know, I know I said at the time when it happened, like I didn't want to talk to anyone, but there were some unexpected people that would send a message. You know, done more than other people just by sending one message to say thinking of you. You know, Ed McCann, Steph's mum from Sleepy Jake and the Duvers sent us a message, even though we weren't even friends anymore on Facebook. Like, but that was good of her. Yeah. So one place was, I don't know. Again, it's all in my head. When I first started working in Keighley, you know, again, in any sort of aspect of life, work, friends, when you're younger at school, there's always like, there's the cool kids, there's the cool people that you want to hang around, that seem the ones to want to get in with. And so that in Keighley, that's like the Keighley music scene, the Keighley punk scene. And yeah, there's a lot of trash. There's a lot of trash out there. So this is another reason I need to get off Facebook, because it's just like really pissing me off, like especially now with all like the Black Lives Matter and stuff, which obviously is a great thing. I'm just saying it because it's happening now. Like, just, yeah, people are so quick to get on their high horse and, you know, preach, but people don't know like the proper bad shit they do. yeah, one guy thinks it's fine to, even though he's been in a long-term relationship, when he's in the pub and his missus ain't there, feels it's okay to grab my mate's ass all the time. At least 3 different occasions he's done that when she's told me about it. But it's okay because he's had a few drinks, so it's all right. Like, yeah, no, touching women against their will is really not okay. A guy who is in a long-term relationship admitted that he didn't love his girlfriend anymore and spent a year still with her until something better came along, younger model, and only then decided to break it off. That's a good thing to know, by the way, rule of life. If ever someone breaks up with someone else and within 2 weeks is in another relationship, they were already seeing that person. Like, that just doesn't happen unless that was already there, you know. So yeah, if that's ever happened to you, sorry, but they were already seeing that other person, just wanting to make sure they had a certain thing before, so they can break it off and to not have to spend too much time in singledom. You know, I get it. Well, I don't get that, but I get that, like, you know, being single is not everyone's cup of tea. It can be difficult, but it also can be fine if you know, can learn to live with it. There's nothing wrong with being single, but yeah, some people are just so scared that they just have to make sure they'll stay in relationships that obviously they shouldn't be in, but because they're scared, they'll stick with it, even though it's probably not the right thing to do. They'll wait, they'll cheat, all these different things. Yeah, 3 women that I know in Keighley actively cheating on their partners. 2 so this is the thing when you're a guy and you know, like, I'm using these women as an example here, but like that's only because I'm a man and I hang around with men mostly, so they're going to be the ones that say, "Oh, guess who sent me a pic last night," that kind of thing. Whereas I don't think many women like to go to men and go, "Oh, guess who sent me a dick pic last night." I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be that thing that happens very often. Yeah, 2 girls are quite happy to take pictures of themselves while they're in bed with their partner when their partner's asleep. Provocative pictures, that's all I'll say. Yeah, men are trash, women are crazy. That's how it is. Depression is something that it's very good that we're understanding mental health more and accepting that these things happen more and looking out for people. There was a great thing about mental health, Prince William with footballers on the BBC iPlayer. It was very good. Give that a watch. But yeah, there's also, with every good there's bad, and there's some people that seem to use depression as a bit of a crux to get what they want, whether it be using a possible suicide attempt in order to sell merchandise. That's been one thing that I saw, very disgruntled on Facebook. They deleted it very quickly after, which was probably for the best. Because yeah, using suicide as a kind of almost like a you know, buy this, otherwise I might not be here next year, is really, really shit. Yeah, another guy had his girlfriend fearing for her life, locking herself in the toilet, trying to break the door down. Now, I can't be 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure if you imagine all the scenarios where a bloke is trying to batter down a door to get to his partner, if he succeeds, I don't think there's many scenarios that end with him kissing and making up. It probably, you know, would go to a lot more abuse, be it verbal or physical. So yeah, bit of a scummy move and keep staying on your high horse. But when you do shit like that, it's not really cool, is it? It's not very punk, is it? You know, Keighley punk scene. Married guy. Oh, the married guy who started a covers band, but then had to leave it because he had a thing with the singer. You know, wonderful people. I'm not proclaiming that I've ever been the best guy in the world. I know I'm a dickhead. I know I'm an arsehole sometimes. But, yeah, some of these things is just awful. When, a few months ago, when I was chatting with one of my sisters, she brought up suicide and asked if I felt that way in any way. Then I said at the time I didn't, and I still don't. But sometimes I drive back from seeing Penny and, like, I wish someone driving the other way would have a heart attack so they just plough into me. Or I go to the Cow and Calf and I wish just like one of the rocks would just roll over. I'm just so angry and so sad all the time. I'm crying so much more. I went to see Penny last week, and normally it's sort of the same thing. I'll go see her, I'll walk around, I go back and I read a story from the book. And yeah, last week I cried for about, felt like ages. I think it was about half an hour, and then I couldn't like drive for half an hour because I needed to wait, like, you know, make sure I was okay to drive. And then on Monday I had to stop twice on the way back because I was crying. Just all the time. All the time. I fucking hate it. Mum found a picture of Jess from ages ago. I think she found it in Grandma's old house. So it's a picture of Jess when she's like, I'd say like 9, 10, 11, something like that. And she looks really like Penny. Like, I'd said that before when I see Penny, like, Lo always said there was much more of me than her in how Penny looks. But I always said, like, there's more of Jess than anyone else. But that was really sad because then it was just, I know, like, Mum was quite happy to see it, but, you know, it's like the most morbid case of here's what you would have had. But still, thankfully, in any social situation whatsoever, it's fine. I don't cry. Distract myself with oh my god, with whatever's going on. Just, I hate it so much. Like, I've noticed more, I don't talk with Mum and Dad hardly at all. And I know all they want is like just an update, just like see how my day's been or whatever. But I don't want to say anything because what can I say apart from just I'm sad all the time. And then there's so many little things that I won't even go into now. Just like little things hit you. So yeah, that's it. I'm not going to do any more posts because it's just the same shit. I'm going to get off Facebook so I stop seeing everyone's fucking kids. I've got on all this off my chest, so it's fine. People can hate if they want. I don't care. I can't work anymore. Can't teach. I mean, just can't do it. I can't go back. I don't have any passion. I can't teach kids. Because I'll have that one 7-year-old or 9-year-old or 11-year-old. I'll just kill me. So that's it. There you go. Over and out. Signing off. Good luck to all of you. Hopefully lockdown ends soon. Can all get out. And as always, remember, as bad as it may seem, could always be a lot worse.